Hello, this is part three of a culture of going where we are valued. Okay, so I'm talking about healing and how unpleasant and uncomfortable it is. Okay, so we have to heal. We are traumatized as empaths. We've been through it. We've been told that we're not good enough. We've been taken advantage of. We've been lied to. We've been made to feel completely stupid for being kind, and yet being kind is who we are. So imagine being made to feel stupid for being who you are. Imagine a bee is made to feel stupid for making honey. I mean, what the hell? How counterproductive would that be? And this is exactly the thing. This is why I'm saying we need to go to where we're valued, because there we will help people to be productive and we ourselves will be allowed to be productive, right? And it's also counterproductive for people to treat us with the disrespect that they have. It's completely counterproductive. And I think oftentimes they themselves, but because they're so like in their ego and they're full of pride, they'll never admit that, ish, by screwing you over, I actually screwed myself over. You know what I'm saying? They'll never admit it. But sometimes you can encounter them and you'll see that, ish, shame, You'll have people who will tell you things like, oh, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm sorry for what I did. But they're not actually sorry. What they actually sorry for is that they no longer have access to your good vibes, because your good vibes makes them feel comfortable and safe. And that comfort and safety is something they've been deprived of pretty much their whole lives. And they're so traumatized, and so calcified. Like, like something which is callous, like when someone works hard daily with their hands are very hard and rough and calloused. Their heart has become calloused by the trauma, and decalcifying your heart is that healing process I was talking about. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. It's very painful. Obviously, the results of it are extremely pleasant, because now you're a peaceful person. You're no longer an addict. You're no longer inclined to being self-destructive. You've learned how to value yourself, to see yourself as this beautiful, unique creature that you are, and to love yourself for who you are. That's incredible. It's amazing. There's nothing better in the world than to love yourself and to feel at peace with yourself and to have boundaries. And this is where, also our society, because we have so many narcissistically inclined people in our society, even amongst our families and whatever, in our society, in our cultures, in our social institutions, our political institutions, our economic institutions, which basically tell us that it's a virtue for us to sacrifice ourselves for other people, right? But they don't tell you that those people that you're sacrificing yourself for are not going to sacrifice themselves for you. They don't tell you that those people who you're sacrificing yourself for are just using you, right? Are making you a stepping stone. And even insidiously, sacrificing yourself so that they don't have to look into themselves, so that they don't have to feel bad about themselves, so they don't have to up their game. Imagine sacrificing yourself for someone not to be their best. I mean, it's one thing like how Christ sacrificed himself so that we could come to know God and be our best, right? But imagine sacrificing yourself for people who are just gonna, like the swine, trample you underfoot and then turn on you, trample your gifts underfoot and then turn on you. I mean, this is what we're dealing with in this world, right? So there's a lot of healing that empaths have to do. And part of that healing is learning how to say no, thank you, I'm not interested, and learning how to put up boundaries, make it clear that no further than this. You shall not pass, okay, with your negativity and your destructive tendencies, until you are healed enough to value me and to treat me with the respect that I deserve, you know. And unfortunately, in this world, there's a lot of people who are empaths, but they've put so many masks on themselves just as a survival mechanism, and it's very difficult for them to come out of it. And a lot of us, I think, also have felt very much isolated and alone, because you're like, why am I like this? Why does it seem like I'm the only person who feels like this? Why does it seem like I'm the only person? I don't think we are. I don't think we're the only people who feel like this, but I think a lot of us have been so traumatized that we feel like being like this is not worth the trauma and the stress of the negative people that you attract. Inevitably, unfortunately, inevitably, you're going to attract these negative people, because, like I was listening to some video, Brosco something, this guy. It's like a purple angel, an angel in a purple robe. Anyway, he talks like deep stuff, and he was saying like evil doesn't attack that which is already kneeling to it. Evil attacks that which threatens it. And that's what you do, because by nature, you are honest, you are kind, you are loving, you seek to speak the truth, you seek to defend the defenseless, So obviously, and it's not that evil is upset with you because you're opposing it, it's because you're showing it that it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Okay, and I'm talking about the person who's evil. Okay. Evil, I think, is a mirror to show you the level of ignorance that you are tolerating within yourself and that you're enabling within yourself and that you're practicing within yourself. So evil in itself, I think, is almost like a litmus paper, which says whether a substance is acidic or alkaline or neutral, right? So, and it's just a force, you know what I mean? But obviously, it's a very destructive, negative force once it takes over a person's mind and is allowed to express itself through the person's physical actions, right? But like I'm saying, the evil within a person. And like I said before, when people allow evil to take root in them, it's because they feel that by having this ability to act without any remorse, without any feeling, that they've developed some sort of a power. But at the end of the day, that evil is going to consume them and it's going to destroy them. And it shows that they end up destroying the relationships that could have actually helped them to heal the trauma that they refuse to look at, and then what ends up happening? They end up being surrounded by people who are also traumatized and unwilling to heal. Those people are not happy. Why do you think so many of people like that are under some sort of addiction? They have to numb the torment of their soul. And let me tell you, a soul that is not being looked at introspectively, is not being looked at with the intention to heal the trauma, is like an inconsolable child. Have you ever heard an inconsolable child? A child that's crying nonstop. It's heart-rending. It's gut-wrenching. When you hear a child that's crying, your first instinct is to comfort that child. Now imagine it's like people who have babies that don't stop crying. They go a little bit crazy. It's a very stressful thing to have a baby that won't stop crying. Now imagine that's your soul. Your soul is a baby that won't stop crying. It'll drive you crazy. That's why you have to take the alcohol and the weed and the drugs and the whatever, injecting yourself with all sorts of things. Okay. So anyway, just to wrap this up, I want to say you need to go where you are valued. You need to value yourself enough to see that what you bring to this world, to your relationships, is the best thing ever. You are like honey, okay? And honey, look at it. Not only is it sweet, but it's healing. You can use it for your skin. You can use it if you have a sore tummy. You can put it on wounds, for goodness sake. You know what I'm saying? It's good stuff. So you are like that. You are like a rare pearl. You are beautiful. You are someone through whom the kingdom of heaven can come down to earth. Value yourself. Okay. Unfortunately, a lot of us have to go through the suffering of not being valued to learn how to value ourselves. But I'm hoping that, some of us who've been through this can share with younger people our insights. And let's do that. Let's talk intergenerationally. Let's share our insights with younger people so they don't have to go through what we've gone through. And I'm very happy to also see that younger people do seem to value themselves in terms of their differences and their eccentricities and their quirks more. And it's interesting because this is also the generation, for example, where people don't talk about autism or ADHD, but they talk about neurodivergence. They're like, that person, there's nothing wrong with that person. Their brain is just wired differently. So that kind of open-heartedness is really what we need in this world. And like I say, really look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're awesome, because really you are. You're awesome. You're what the world needs. You're beautiful. You're kind. You're sweet. You heal everything around you. The animals probably come to you. Children come to you because you've got such a good vibe. So when you see all these positive things about yourself, don't judge yourself based on that horrible person. Maybe not even say horrible, but that hurting, unhealed, scared person who treated you like you were a threat, like you were an enemy. You're no one's enemy. You're everyone's friend. And start surrounding yourself with people who treat you like a friend, who treat you like you are valuable. Even if it takes a while for for them to come. They will come the more you value yourself. So thank you and goodbye.